Hello, my name is Christophe Depeux. I am Managing Director and co-founder of Highlevel Group, which has been a software vendor and a consulting company, expert on the digital experience monitoring field for more than 20 years. And today, I would like to share with you on how digital experience monitoring can help you increase your organization's efficiency, your revenue, your productivity, and your users and customer satisfaction. In one word, making you successful. So first, let's start with the pain. We have all been through this very frustrating situation when you cannot buy the product you want on an e-commerce website, for instance, or when you want to log in and use a business application of your company that is not available or too slow while you are at home doing home office or in a remote branch. And more than making people angry or unsatisfied, this has got a direct business impact for the organizations. For instance, do you know that almost 6 out of 10 people that have to wait for more than 3 seconds on a web application will give up? But worse, 80% of them will not come back. So indeed, the impact on business is direct. Let's take another example. An e-commerce website encountering a 1 second delay for the web page load time. 1 second delay. You may think it's nothing, but for e-commerce website, it means fewer page views, a loss in terms of conversion rate, less customer satisfaction. And if this e-commerce website generates $100,000 per year, at the end of the year, the cost would be $2.5 million lost. That's huge. And it's the same when you're at work. Indeed, let's assume that you have large organizations with 1,000 IT users that are using 20 hours per week business applications. They are paid in average euro-based 27 euro per hour, and working 48 weeks per year. We know that in average, a company has got 7.6% of productivity loss. So in terms of money, in terms of wages, salaries paid for nothing during the users cannot log in or use properly their business applications, it's a total amount of cost of nearly 2 million euros. So once again, availability matters, performance matters when we're talking of applications and services online. But the challenge is huge for the content providers, for the e-commerce platforms, for the business applications owners. Because indeed, today, anyone can work anywhere using any kind of device. You can buy online, you can use your company's business application using laptop, PCs, smartphones, tablets. Even today, you have more and more TVs that are connected, video game console. Well, it's not possible anymore for a content provider to be able to test all the context of usage. And at the same time, people are more and more demanding. The users don't like to wait. They want the information, they want to act immediately. And it's getting worse and worse with the new generations coming that are used to the online services to be available and quick all the time, even on mobile platforms. So how can you make sure that your end user experience is going to be good, that it will provide the expected level of service so that your productivity, your revenue, your business can move on smoothly and successfully? Well, you can reply, I don't really have any concern because I've got plenty of monitoring tools. I've got my IT teams having a lot of solutions to monitor what's happening. I've got my cloud providers. I've got my partners, providers that have a lot of monitoring tools to be able to provide a good level of what's happening on the network, for instance, to see what are the packets going through the network and making sure it's working properly. I've got some information even on the back-end monitoring with application performance, players providing agents that you can plug in on the back end on the infrastructure to know what's happening as well. But that's not enough, because at the end, you always have some complaints, some issues that the end user will share with you and complain about. So the back-end approach, network approach, is not sufficient. You must know what's happening on the screen, on the front end, from the user perspective. Why do they encounter an unavailability? Why do they encounter a poor performance? That's only in being able to provide what's happening on the screen from the end user perspective that you will be able to know what's happening, to measure concretely what is their experience, what are the potential issues that you meet, and then the action plan to take. So that's why digital experience management has become a must-have today. Even Gartner tells us so. By 2025, 70% of the IT teams, CIOs, CTOs, business applications owners will have to provide end user experience metrics to their customers, to their managers, to the business, to the boards. Well, how can IP label help you in this matter? Well, our vision has always been to see through the eyes of our customers' users. Our vision has always been that anyone in the world should have the best experience possible using online services, wherever they are, whatever the equipment used, whatever the context of usage. So that's why we have been developing a product and a know-how for 20 years now to help our customers cope with the following challenges. First of all, to help them understand 100% of the interactions of their users with their app. Once again, whatever the context of usage, wherever they are, whatever is the network used, well, the customers, our customers have to know exactly for their web applications, mobile apps, business applications, what is the experience really and truly lived by their users. Another challenge we're helping our customers to cope with is for the intra-business applications. The same challenge for the staff, wherever they are, at the headquarters, remote factories, remote branches, abroad, at home, doing home office. We have to make sure that the business apps are reliable and working efficiently, providing a smooth experience to the staff. Another challenge is, as previously mentioned, to align IT and business. providing dashboards, KPIs that the business can understand and that they can use with their IT providers. We have met too much often, some customers telling us that they don't really understand the KPIs provided by the IT teams or their cloud providers or their IT partners. And that's one of the reasons why digital experience monitoring is the best answer to make sure that the metrics are understandable and that they make IT and business on the same level. Notably, we can give you a very precise example with the XLAs. So what is an XLA? Well, it's the experience level agreement that goes further than the service level agreement you may all be aware of, where you have a contract based on a KPI between a customer and a provider. Usually it was done based on infrastructure level. With the XLAs, we go further. We are really in the position of the end user. It's an availability rate, it's response time based on a real transaction, on a real user journey, so that the business and the IT be aligned at last. So our value proposition is really to, as you have understood, providing this end user experience based on what's happening on the screen. It's involving all the profiles of users of your application, your customers, your partners, your internal workforce as well, so that you can be alerted as soon as there is an issue, so that you can be proactive and solving a situation before you have too many people complaining, for instance. As well, value proposition of IP-Label is to help you build up relevant XLAs between the business and the IT or the external providers. It's to provide easy to understand dashboards, reports, graphs, so that the IT and business can sit down, at the same table and understand each other. So how we do that? Well, we can capitalize on our state-of-the-art product called Acara, who is able today to monitor all the existing applications possible. Web app, mobile app, business apps, even web services with APIs monitoring. And complementary to this state-of-the-art product, we propose with our consulting team a high level of consultancy approach to help our customers to build up their own strategy in terms of digital experience monitoring, to decide on what are the KPIs to follow up, how to measure them, with what kind of solution. We can provide as well very concrete audit based on load testing or competitive benchmarks, and even, of course, web performance evaluations. So in a more concrete way, how it looks like, here you have an example of a high-level dashboard that will be fully understandable, of course, by the business, where you have an application used in a lot of different countries with a specific threshold, specific target in terms of response time for each country. And then we measure what is the average performance to check if it's coping with the threshold or not. So then you will have for each day of the week a weather service dashboard telling you that it's sunny if it's meeting the expectations, or cloudy if there is any issue or slow, poor performance on the app. You may have as well complementary high-level dashboards like the map performance overview that will provide for the real users or from our probes around the world what is the real experience lived by the users, and according to the threshold you have set up per country, you will have a color coding that will tell you if everything is fine or if there are areas you have to pay attention to because there is a poor experience by the users of your apps. Of course, when you log in our Ecar portal, you can have access to a more deep dive level of metrics and diagnostics. Here, for example, you have for the real user monitoring all the information regarding the audience, the mapping where the audience comes from, what is the response time according to the devices they use, the operating system used, the browsers, the version of browsers, well, a lot of indications that will be very helpful to help the customers improve at the end what is the end user experience. You can have as well access through the portal with the synthetic monitoring to the user journeys that will be described, and where you will find out the traditional metrics such as the availability rate and response time. You will have a detailed view for each try so that you can see through our video feature how a web page is downloaded and what an end user really sees on the screen when he downloads the page with the different metrics provided. We can provide today up to 12 different performance metrics so that you will be sure to get what the metrics you want to work on. And of course, if there is any outage, any error, we will provide you the detailed diagnostics with the screenshot video of the outage to define exactly what happened, so you can really see on the screen what happened for the end user when it didn't work, when he or she encountered an issue, with a detailed explanation of the issue met and a detailed waterfall provided. Well, how Ecar is working? Well, Ecar is a platform that is an easy to use, non-intrusive as well platform for monitoring every type of existing applications from the end user perspective. You have two methodologies that can be applied to concretely measure the end user experience. First is the public or private robots. So it's what we call the synthetic monitoring. So the idea here is to record a user journey, a real user transaction, and to run this transaction 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from the robots. Ecar robots can be deployed within the intranet of an organization to measure and monitor the business applications used, or the user journeys, the transactions, can be run through our international measurement network with our probes around the world. Complementary to this first methodology, a second one can be applied, very complementary, because in this case, with the real user monitoring, we will collect the real traffic of the web app to be able to provide all the detailed performance of the real users. So you see on one hand, the synthetic monitoring with the robots will provide a stable monitoring infrastructure running 24 hours a day, very useful to alert or to compare a new version of an application when there is a release, for instance, to see the evolution of the performance in time as well. And complementary to this, the real user monitoring will provide what's happening for the real users in real time on the application used. So all these KPIs are collected within our Ecar platform that will generate the alerts when there is an outage, an error, when there is a slowness of the application experienced by an user. The platform will provide as well all the relevant dashboards and reports you can expect, as well all the detailed diagnostics as seen previously. You will be able to build up your own dedicated dashboards matching with third-party content if necessary and if you wish to. And of course, everything managed with our customer success team that will provide you a state-of-the-art level of service so that you can just enjoy the service at the end. I would like to come back to the Ecar Studio feature, which is key in the product. Indeed, I'm talking of user journeys, transactions, so you have to record them. And today, Ecar Studio brings the real innovation in the market as it's a no-code solution. Before, you had to script with programming language like Python, for instance, when you had to script a user journey. Thanks to Ecar Studio, today you don't have to do this anymore. It's a no-code user journey recorder, so it's unique. It's a real innovation in the market. It's a gain in terms of productivity for the IT teams, but more, it enables today the business teams to set up their own transactions by themselves so that they can define very precisely what they have in mind, what they consider as a critical user journey when somebody has to use their e-commerce website or the business application. And you see on the screen that you have the transaction that is running, providing the first metrics live, running from our probes. And then at the end, once it's recorded, this user journey will run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our platform. So I was talking of two different methodologies. So if I develop the real user monitoring approach, very simple. It's available for all web applications. You just need to set up our Ecar JavaScript in your web pages, and then it will collect all the traffic of your web application. And then we will be able to provide all the detailed KPIs I showed you previously in the dashboards. Regarding the synthetic, once the user journey has been recorded with Ecar Studio, then it will run from our worldwide measurement network to collect the data, the KPIs that will be sent to the Acara central site so that it can be processed and then generating all the alerts, dashboards, reports I introduced you. The main differentiators is that we're having maybe the most comprehensive measurement network through the world with more than 200 locations available on all the continents. We are, of course, based on the major global cloud providers, and including Alibaba Cloud, and I will come back to that shortly. Complementary to this, in Europe, we're able as well to provide the premium European telecom providers, so that you can have the end user experience from the major real end users networks used on the internet. The solution is hybrid, as you have understood. It can work within an intranet, within the firewall, or from the internet. It has powerful algorithms, because when you need to know what exactly happening on the screen, you must rely on state-of-the-art OCR, for instance, technology. We use real browsers, the latest versions of real browsers. So once again, we are not simulating a browser, or we are not simulating a mobile. We use real browsers. We use real mobile devices, real iPhones for iOS, and real Android smartphones. Complementary to this, we can set up as well Android operating system on the cloud if a customer needs this as well. And business apps are fully compliant with our capacity to be monitored. Thin client, but thick client as well. Citrix applications can be monitored with Acara as well, which is a key competitive advantage because it's complex technologies there. Regarding complex technologies, all the DSP2, for instance, security process setup to access bank accounts, for instance, or to check e-commerce buying process, is fully compliant with Ecara. Ecar is able to run this kind of advanced security processes within a user journey, which is, of course, a must-have if you really want, once again, to assess what is the real user experience. And of course, complementary to this, we can provide the protocol testing most used today in the market, complementary to our high-level monitoring capacity. Just to come back on our partnership with Alibaba Cloud, that's very important to understand that if you want to really provide this end user experience and measure it, we have customers having business globally. Mainland China is a must-have for a lot of them, APAC as well. So of course, Alibaba Cloud has helped us expanding our business in mainland China and Asia. It's a unique partnership that we have set up together, so that we can provide 12 locations in mainland China and provide a real overview of what's happening from the end user perspective inside China, but as well from APAC. This partnership is a real asset for our customers to, in their go to China or go Asia strategy. We work with more and more premium players, luxury industry or cosmetics as well, or industry that have developed their business in mainland China or APAC, and we help them to better address and be successful in this market, providing them the digital experience monitoring approach. It's important that you are aware as well that Highlevel is the only one Western digital experience monitoring player operating directly today in China with its own resources. We have our own company that has been set up there 15 years ago. It's Wufi, and we have a Chinese team there that is providing all the customer service our customers are expecting, of course. Complementary to this, presence. We have in China and APAC. We have as well branches in the Nordics, in Europe, in Sweden and Finland. We have an office in Spain, as well in North Africa, in Tunisia. More than 3,000 robots running all over the world today. Hundreds of customers in 25 different countries. Where we do not operate in an area or a country, we have partners, resellers that complement their portfolio of solutions thanks to our DEM know-how and product. We are a big data factory collecting more than 10 billion data every day, and as well quality processes certified, because as a trusted third party, that was important that IP label as well show that it can rely on quality processes. So just to conclude, what makes our service special? Well, a dedicated customer success team that is specialized per industry, that has a true value. We have a multilingual team as well, so that we can provide our customers success service with maybe 10 today or languages available. The user journeys are set up and updated for our customers. That's part of our managed service, which is a unique as well service today. We have customers who want to be more on their own, so we can provide self-service, but the true value is for our customers to focus on their own business and dedicate their resources to their daily business, so that we can take care of all the managed service of the monitoring, providing them just the reports, the analysis, being proactive in diagnostics that we give them, so that they just can focus on this to improve their online performance. The alerts sent as well in different ways, so that customers can expect being alerted before the real users call them, or before there is an impact in terms of business too important, of course. And last very special service we provide is when a user journey is not working anymore because there is a new version of the application, for instance, there is any changes. Well, proactively, we will update the transaction, the user journey, so that the customer sometimes even has not noticed that we've done that. That's fully part of the service we provide. So just to conclude, I invite you to join as well all the portfolio of customers we're having, of course, to help you better manage the performance of your organization, thanks to a state-of-the-art digital experience monitoring solution implemented. So just get in touch with us. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.